This one is, I was released, obviously, from Lyle McEwen and went back to the home with Jet and my ex-husband. Found it really hard to cope, I think. Well, I mean, obviously. Wasn't able to function properly. I was trying to clean the house and I would end up sitting on the ground in a corner, next to the vacuum, just sort of sitting there, trying to do simple things like shower and knowing, that you're being watched. There's comments going on. I started rapidly losing a great deal of weight. I couldn't eat. For example, it's like in one day, I would eat like one piece of pizza or something like that, like one thing. So I became quite emaciated, and it was even painful to wash myself in the shower and touch myself because my bones were protruding from my skin and it was hurting. So yeah, I was not coping really well at all. I spent one day in bed with the covers over my head, and mental health obviously come out to visit you. 2 women came out, and one of these women would continue to come out. So I remember her because she came out every visit. Now, what they did was put me under a government order to be injected with paliperidone. I think that's how you pronounce it. Someone might know. Now, this drug, I didn't have a choice. I was told that this is an enforcement as part of my release. I have never in my life had these kind of dark thoughts that I did when they were injecting me with that dose. I think it was weekly. I'm pretty sure it was weekly or fortnightly that I was having these injections. They were coming out and doing that. And yeah, like I said, there were times where really dark thoughts, like I just need to kind of get out of this. And certainly not now. I'm just going to make it real clear that I'm here till the end now. Like, these people are going to have to come and get their hands dirty now. It's kind of against one of my, personal moral rules, I guess, to take myself out. It's not going to happen. I'm here for a reason, and I'm going to stay for the duration because obviously I've made that, commitment at a higher level for myself, for growth, and nothing is too painful to go through. That might be really hard for some people to comprehend, considering the information that I've been bringing out, but I don't know if I could relay what kind of personal strength and power and that I've gained from actually showing up like this for myself, for my son, and for any other children that that this has happened to. So also the heart, my heart has just activated in a massive way to the point where I feel like I haven't just gone to, my higher being, but I've gone beyond that and have a very zoomed out perspective now on things. So don't really feel any kind of way about doing this. This is something I've decided to do, and I feel the energy behind doing this is incredibly powerful, you know. And I've never ever asked anybody for support. I've never asked anybody to have my back, and I've never asked anybody to do the same thing. Okay, I want to make that very clear that this was my choice, and I've survived close to 9 years now, so I feel a certain obligation to do it now. Well, it was always going to happen. I knew, you know, the initial first 4 or 5 years where it was basically like, okay, you know, I'm going to be dead soon. They'll get me soon. Surround me. You know, I was never left alone, okay? So you're running, in a sense, not literally. You just know it's coming. Then, once you kind of get past that and drop all fear and understand that this could be way more powerful doing this than me just going quietly and then end up getting towed off and tortured or whatever, taken out. This, people might not understand, but this has affected them. So, yeah, my heart activations have been extreme. And I have a great deal of gratitude for that. And I'm not saying that I am not supported, because possibly at a higher level, like we all are, you know, outside of this physical vehicle. But I just want to make it very clear that I'm not trying to convince, I'm not trying to push, I'm not trying to do anything. This is my purpose. So, yeah, spent a lot of time hiding under covers or just pretending I was laying down for a nap on the couch, and literally there was one day, I don't even know how much time passed, where I laid on the couch, and because I knew I was being watched on camera, just closed my eyes, and back then there was no psychic tap in, so they could only go by cameras, and everything that they're talking about correlated with that. So yeah, they're like, oh, she's laying down having a nap or whatever, and hours could have went by, and I lay there for hours, and I think I repeated the same thing over and over and over, screaming out, crying out, for him to be protected, just over and over again, pleading for that, as you do. Anyone who's gone through things will know that you kind of pray, I guess. You plead and you pray for their protection. And I don't actually know what happened when I did that, but I do know how incredibly extreme that call out was. So these nurses were coming out and injecting me, and I do believe certain members of the family were being extorted to protect people. And obviously I picked up on that, and yeah, it's a myriad of emotions and emotional charges. So, you know, one minute you'll be severely traumatized and sitting on the ground and not being you can't move, you can't do anything. There's nothing in you that will get you to move. And then other times, extremely rageful, like, and in one of those moments where I was angry and I was basically like walking around the house, you know, angry. I wasn't screaming at the top of my lungs or anything, but I was being aggressive. Ambulance came to take me off again. And, you know, I had just gotten out the shower, so my hair is basically like a fro, and I was like, I remember the female ambulance officer whispering to the other guy, oh, it's not going to last long, messy hair, and they're laughing. So these people are involved. He comes in and says, oh, pack a bag, you know, pack what you need. We're just going to take you, you know, just for a few days to calm down and once again, yeah, I was taken away from jail. Taken up to Marbury Hospital this time. Involuntarily. Like, absolutely involuntarily and against my will. And for no justified reason at all. So this time I thought, you know, for sure, like, they're not gonna fuck this up now. This is it, like. Got shown to my room, yeah, settled in, all of that. Oh, sorry, I was just checking my notes before this. Before I was shown to my room. I mean, I guess the admittance part, I don't even know, like, you know, you're walking dead at this point, so you're not really looking at signs or anything like that. I'm in a room, strange, actually, really strange room. Had a bed and a massive glass wall that overlooked out into the hospital, which was very quiet once again. There were a couple of women sitting at one of these nurse booths, and in that room there was a door on the side leading to another room, like the next door room. Obviously I couldn't see in. I hear people ushering into there, like a few people. All I'm doing while I'm sitting on this bed is, and this is all I did, you know, the whole time, was I had Jet's pictures with me in my purse, and I was just looking at his pictures because I had to stay connected to him, and I had to just keep showing him the love and just I don't know, holding space for him. That's what I did. I just looked at them pictures constantly, and so I'm hearing people shuffle into this room next door, and this is another one of them moments where you would never believe it. You just wouldn't believe it. And I don't even know what that sounds like, but I'm pretty sure this is what it was, and also what I'm picking up. You know, I heard a body bag unzip or zip, and you know that doesn't sound like a normal sports bag. This is big. Okay, in the next room to me, with the door access. Male. I don't know if it was a hospital member or if it was a police officer, but it was a male, and he's come in to me to check on me, and then gone out again, and he's talking to the nurses. So they close up my room, and you know, while you can still vaguely hear, they're pretty secure, right? So they're having a discussion, and he's worried, and he says, what if we're doing the wrong thing? And these women's, I don't really recall what they said. I think one of them said they didn't really care, and but he had a look of concern on his face, you know, and he locked eyes with me, and I think he sort of knew that I shouldn't have been in this position, you know what I mean? So not long after that, I'm taken to my room. Don't know what went wrong with that scenario for them, I mean, because next thing I know, I'm being ushered through a hole and taken to, you know, the mental health part of the building. Just gotta clear my throat. And being allocated a room in there. I recognised a woman from my son's school, a mother. And there was a group situation where everybody sat down in a circle, and I wasn't sure what was going on, so I didn't really partake. Prayer group or support group or something to that effect. And I was sort of sitting just off to them, and this woman, the mother from Jet's school, got kind of agitated that I was close by, and she sort of said to one of these women, "Why is she here?" So confusing again, like there was a day where her children came in and they were visiting. She had a son and a daughter. After this, in the recent years, I've still seen her at the school with her daughter. And that's basically all I know about that. During my stay, they were giving me meds, and initially they weren't, and when they started that, I was immediately concerned they're trying to subdue me, and like this is going to happen now. So once I received my meds. They make sure you take them. They put them in your mouth. You put it in your mouth and everything. You know, people know the drill. I sort of held it in my mouth and spat that out as I was heading up to my room. So I wasn't ingesting them. I wanted to keep alert, particularly while I was sleeping. And even at Lyle McEwen, every single night, someone would open the door. They do checks or whatever, but I'm pretty sure they were waiting for a moment where I was asleep. Every single night, the second I heard that door, I would wake up, like without fail. And I remember him talking about it as well, that, you know, she must sleep with one eye open or something. And there was actually one staff member at Lyle McEwen who was this little weedy. He was walking around and like joking and actually saying, "Oh, you know, I'll do it. Give me a syringe and I'll do it." So at Mowbray Hospital, really weirdly, obviously they're injecting me with that stuff still as well. But then really weirdly, they tell me that they're going to go take me for an ultrasound. And I can't imagine any circumstance where a woman who is not pregnant needs an ultrasound. They walked me down to this room and the girl is giving me an ultrasound. This was torturous pain that went on for, I don't even know how long, maybe an hour. And I believe that's called womb wounding. And I've already been pregnant and had ultrasounds, alright? This was next level pain all around my womb, being inflicted for a very long time. And she kept saying to me, "Are you doing well?" And I'm hearing in my earpiece, you know, gross comments about me and her and stuff like that. Like the woman that was doing it. There were buildings adjacent from the mental health ward. I don't know if that is part of the hospital. I think it is. And there were definite eyes on me from that building as well. Obviously, you walk out the front, and once you're out there, that building directly overlooks the outside area. And I often heard voices, discussing me from there. So, you know, these are just pieces. They're really just pieces to a puzzle. There was a girl in there that had her hair kind of bundled up in a, I don't know what you call, I don't know if it's a turban or, you know, like a headscarf, all twisted up, and wore it like that all the time, with no hair showing. And she was extremely agitated with me. And there was even one encounter where I was in the bathroom and she's come out of her room and sort of locked eyes with me and like muttered something under her breath. And I've just been like, you know, boom, like, yeah, don't fucking try it, you know what I mean? Like, push me, sort of thing. And I mean, anyone who is innocent and is being treated like a piece of dirt, you will find they're not someone to be trifled with. Like, you are even more, you know what I mean? When you are being put in that position and you're like standing up. So all of this was really confusing, and I just put it down to these people were hired. Like, this was all part of it. Like, these were all people who wanted to kill me. That's why they were, acting this way towards me. And now I'm kind of starting to think there's more to it. There was a narrative that was run, and I do think a lot of these people were convinced of something. So the amount of pressure on my throat right now is full on. Doing the other Lyle McKeown video, halfway through, there's massive amounts of pressure on my throat, like someone has a boot on my neck. And it's just getting worse. So that's all I have on that place for now. That's all the major components. When I was released from there, I can't even believe, like, I ended up getting released from there as well, which I didn't expect to happen. And there was even a time I was going to quit smoking. Like, I threw my whole packet in the bin, and because they were sort of talking in my ear and stuff, and saying all these negative things about me because that I deserved it because I was a smoker. Like, I couldn't even believe what I was hearing. Could not even believe what I was hearing. So stupidly, I thought, well, maybe if I don't smoke, they'll let me go. That was back. That's the old Leanne. That was like, fearful. So I threw my whole packet in the bin. I was like, okay, well, let's do this. Anyway, my dad comes in and tells me that, when I'm released, I'll be going home with him and stay with him for a bit. And I was like, okay, he gives me his old phone as well. And that's probably where I'll go next.